Node 3029618.
Welcome to the Friends Radio Network. The sense of what you said, I did have to listen, so you might have to have a quick look at your microphone setup there. Break in when you've had a look and checked it out, and so we can see if we can. Oh, there you go. I need to get a new mic. Okay, sorted. All right, thank you very much there, Brian. Oh, you're a CW operator. Something I was chatting about just earlier. I'm going to see if we can start doing CW or CW sort of training sessions via something like this. I need to find out more about it, and from the RSGB here about the legality of using it over echolink, because I realise it might go out on transmitters as well around the world, so we need to look at that angle. But I'm sure it should be doable somehow. Okay, let's move on to November 7 Charlie X-ray G0HCR.
Node 3029618 connected to Node 440.
That's November 7 Charlie X-ray. Good evening to the group. Not going to be on here long. It just seems like always when you have something planned for amateur radio, something else comes in and wants to take its place. So it's going to say 73s to everybody, and hope to catch you all next week. N7CX, we're about 110 miles north of the Mexican border here in southern Arizona. 73s and N7CX.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine on that, Brian. Lovely audio, could hear you there. And so that's no problem. Good to you. Kilo Echo 2, Yankee Kilo, G0HCR.
Okay, Steve. Once again, Gary out here on Long Island. Nice to hear Mike's voice. And don't have too much to add. I'm about 60 miles east of the Big Apple. I think I mentioned that before. Thank you for the net, and hope to, even though I've been around QRP a long time, I hope to learn some new things. So it sounds like fun. G0HCR, K2YK, back to you.
G0HCR, yeah, fine on that. Gary, that's what it is. Good job, all this stuff is printed up on the screens here, so I can easily see this. Yes, I keep forgetting to mention it was good to hear Mike as well. I've spent many times swapping messages and things. It's actually nice to, I was going to say, put a face. How would you say? It was good to hear you anyway. Right, as this is the inaugural nets of our Amateur QRP Radio Facebook page, I've just been quickly thinking, I'm sort of running through the list of the people. Obviously, if it gets too big, nobody actually get any talking done, but certainly for tonight, just going to run through so we can all introduce ourselves. November 4 Echo Zulu Zulu, G0HCR. G0HCR, I must have stepped out. Stu, we've chatted to you up there in, or you've chatted to us up there in Greenock. Radesh, I think it was, over in India, can't remember where. Tim, I'll come back to you when I've run through the list, Tim, and then you could decide what you want to do as you're the net controller. K2UPS, I thought we've spoken to, but just quickly check with you. K2UPS, G0HCR.
Good evening, this is Rich, K2UPS, and again I'm in Hicksville, New York, on Long Island, about 30 miles east of New York City, and about 30 miles west of Gary, KE2IK. And it is, like Gary mentioned also, it's nice to hear voices. I only do CW on HF. I've been licensed since about 1982. Out of the hobby about 10 years, got married, kids, new job and everything, but got back into it. When I did, I got back at the QRP level and never looked back. It's so much fun. I do most of my QRP portable or mobile as well, but I like going to local beaches and parks. And I also do mobile CW with the straight key, and that can be a handful because I drive a 6-speed manual Jeep. So it's a little tricky. I don't do it around town. Get out on the interstate, it's not so bad, but it's quite a lot of fun. And just one comment for everybody that's checked in here. If you go to your settings in the echolink app, please update it with your name and location. It puts your call sign in, but if you don't do it, it's nice to have a name to go with the call. It's very easy to do. It's in the settings if you're not familiar with it, and you can edit it so that we can see who everybody is. So be interested to see how well this progresses, and I thank the people who are running it and put it together. KTUPS, back to net.
K2UPSG0HCR. Yes, I remember, Rich. We had a chat a little earlier on. Yeah, that's something I want to get up to. I've got an XREF key strapped to my knee, but I need to get my CW up to speed and then be able to just head copy it without writing it down. Right, quickly running through the list here. Kilo Echo 5, Romeo Bravo Sierra G0HCR.
Good evening, Steve, and to the group. This is K5RBS Kelvin in Jacksonville, Arkansas, and really enjoy the Facebook group. Learned a lot from everybody, and looking forward to learning a lot on the net. Back to you, Steve, G0HCR from K5RBS.
K5RBS G0HCR. Yeah, fine on that, Kelvin. Good to hear you. It's really nice to be talking to people from our Facebook group rather than just typing out the words. It's far friendlier. Just an update for you. If people who don't have names or locations it's certainly a name. If you go Alt-E in the application, it brings you up on the setup menu where it's got your name. You've got your call sign. You can type in your name there. I've got my location in, but it's not picked. It's not actually bringing that up in the little pop-up box in echolink. It's just putting my name. But names are definitely a good one. Right. Kilo Alpha 4, Romeo Uniform, Romeo G0HCR.
G0HCR, this is KA4, your Fred in St. Louis, Missouri. Just want to say good evening to everybody from the Facebook group. And this is a really good net here tonight. I was on last night listening and got everything working. So I'll turn it back over to you, Net Control. This is KA4, your over to G0HCR.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine on that, Fred. Good to hear you there. Tim, if you go onto that web link that N0STY provided further up the text boxes, go onto that, and then in the bottom right corner of the stations list, it's a click and hold and drag it down, and you get all the stations. Currently up to 33. November 9, Victor Golf Tango G0HCR.
This is November 9, Victor Golf Tango, located in Eau Claire in the U.S. state of Wisconsin. It's about 100 miles east of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, which I guess would be about 160 kilometers. I do QRP when I'm camping, along with my XYL, using homemade buddy pole antennas and a wire with a 31-foot wire with a 9-1 Hununani. I've used that with some success as well. So I have a KX2 and I have a Yaesu 817ND that I run QRP. So I'm looking forward to learning something from you guys, and thanks for the opportunity to be on your net tonight. And that's about it for now, and I'll turn it back over to Net. This is N9VGT.
Hi to all. Hi. This is Delta Victor 3 Romeo Whiskey Romeo. The handle is Ricky, and my QTH here is in the Philippines, Cabanatuan City. That is outside suburbs of Manila. This is my first time joining your net. I'm just saying hi to everyone. 73. Good day.
From GB0HCR. Yes, apologies, my friend. It seems we were doubling at one time, but we've got our friendly overview from N0STY, who actually owns this node and is allowing us to use it. So we got most of your over there. What I'll do is I'll just pass it back to you if you would like to just do that again. Delta Victor 3 Romeo Whiskey Romeo G0HCR.
Oh, okay. Yes. This is Delta Victor 3 Romeo Whiskey Romeo. Handle is Ricky. QTH here is in the Cabanatuan City, Philippines, outside of Metro Manila. Just saying hello to everyone. It's my first time in joining your net. Just saying 73. Dito lang po, mabuhay.
G0HCR. Yes, fine there, my friend. I think you said Manila. You're very welcome here, and once we've worked through the list, we shall then have a good chat. I take it, Tim and excuse me, Tim and Mike, you've got the thing on how to open the list there, and every time you hit refresh user list, of course, it's closes it down. You need to open it up again. Right, where were we on the, I think, sorry, some people may have swapped order on this list. So I should pass it over. Kilo Alpha 7, Romeo Oscar November.
Well, good evening, Steve and everybody. Well, evening here anyway. It sounds like we're all around the world here, so I guess it's not evening anywhere. Anyway, this is Ron in Vancouver, Washington. That's Vancouver, USA, not Canada. It's actually directly north of Portland, Oregon, right across the Columbia River. And I'm just tuning in to see what this net is all about. I saw it on Facebook, thought I'd check it out and see what's going on. So I'll go ahead and turn it back and wait for the discussion. KA7ROM.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine that, Ron. Nice to have you with us. I'm going to keep all this brief and trying to run through the list so we can actually start talking rather than just a check-in, which I sort of like those just check-ins and nothing else gets talked about. Whiskey Bravo 4 Golf Lima Juliet G0HCR.
KL4EL, Sitka, Alaska.
G0HCR, KL4EL, good to hear you there. I shall just note that down. I'll come back to you, come back in a little while, because there's a few people being on the, towards the end of the list I'm not getting to. And then we've all checked in. I'll start the chat. November 3, Mike Alpha Victor, G0 HCR.
G0 HCR N3 MAV. The name here is Greg, located in eastern Pennsylvania, Carbon County, and just hoping to learn something about QRP from the group. So I'm going to turn it back to Next Control.
This is G0 HCR. Solo Dublin with Victor Echo 7. I'll just pause briefly and then come back. G0 HCR. I think I'm okay now. Okay. Right. To all the people, I'm just quickly running through the list I've got here, and then I'll come back to the stations that recently joined us. And then when we've all checked in, which should be in a couple of minutes now, I hope we could start chatting. This is the inaugural echolink net for the amateur QRP Radio Facebook group. And as it's inaugural, we're just getting to know one another first before we start some chats. Golf 0, Papa Echo Kilo, G0 HCR.
Yeah, from Golf 0, Papa Echo Kilo. Yes, very good morning to you all here from the UK. The name here is Kevin, located near Rochester, in the county of Kent, down in the southeast corner of England. Do a lot of our QRP operating, normally mountaintop operating, or out on a kayak, or out all sorts of places. But yeah, we tend to do sort of quite crazy things, but there we are. That's all part of the fun of radio, sort of linking it with different hobbies there. So that's basically what we're about. So we do an awful lot of portable operating there. Back to you there, Steve. G0 HDR for the group from Golf 0, Papa Echo Kilo.
G0 HCR, yeah, fine on that, Kevin. You're right, you're down there near the Medway, down in Rochester, hot country. And yeah, just seeing some of the comments. Nice to hear all without any QSB or QRM. Yes, it certainly is there. Right, Andy, as the node owner, don't know if you fancy coming on and just saying a few words so we can actually hear your voice. N0 Sierra Tango Yankee G0 HCR.
All right, very good there. Let's see. Hang on one moment here. All right, well, I realized there that I have my channel here on the repeater. I'm about 45 miles from the repeater that I'm talking to you on here. And, well, anyway, that wasn't what my intention was to grab. But anyway, yeah, I've been listening, and, hey, guys, it's great to have you guys here. I'm glad you guys can use it. I heard you mention something about doing a net that's a little more convenient time for folks on the other side of the pond. And, well, you know, that'd be great. I'd love to work something out like that, too, if you guys would like to do that in the future. We don't have anything in the middle of the night here, USA time, so it'd be a perfect time for you guys to use that. Shoot, I want to welcome you all to the system and let you know that you can stop by our website anytime, friendshamradio.net, and let's see here. All right, and you know, we've got other nets. We have a net every morning at 8 a.m. Mountain Time,
And, yeah, I do apologize for the hum through this repeater. I didn't mean to grab this frequency, but it's what radio was handy, so I grabbed it. Anyway, that's, stop by anytime in the morning. We've got a lot of nets there, like I said, so please. This is November 0, which, by the way, right now is currently 1500 UTC. So there you go. This is November 0, Sierra Tango Yankee, back to net control.
G0HCR. Yes, thanks on that, Andy. You're also actually speaking on the radio through repeater back into the system. Oh, that's brilliant. You're using real radio tonight, so I'm just hooked up to my computer. But everybody, that was a word from our sponsor. A very kind gentleman who's let us use his node here. And I'm sure I will speak to Mike about more convenient times for Europe, and hopefully we can find somebody to maybe do net control for a more convenient time for Australasia. And we'll speak with Mike, and I'm sure he'll be in touch with you. But thank you very much, Andy. Very nice of you. Right, continuing down the list, Kilo India 7, Juliet Yankee Whiskey, G0HCR.
Kilo India 7, Juliet Yankee Whiskey. Nice to meet you guys. My name is Bob. I'm in Kennewick, Washington, U.S., which is midway across the state. I'm new to radio, and experiencing or looking at QRP as a bigger experience. So that I will put it back to you. KI7 JYW.
G0HCR. Good to hear you, Bob. I believe you said you're new to amateur radio, so very warm welcome to the fraternity. It's a very nice hobby. I've been interested in radio since I was about 13, 14. I built the Ladybirds transistor radio book by a very famous QRPer, the Reverend George Dobbs, G3RJV, off the top of your head, I think it is. So I built that and then got into my license in 1979. Okay, Kilo 8, Yankee Zulu Kilo, G0HCR.
G0HCR, KYZK, say good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody on there. Glad to see that so much participation. Name here is Kurt. We're located in Martinez, Georgia, just outside Augusta, home of the Masters Golf Tournament. I've been a ham for a while, been doing QRP off and on. I used to do the portable stuff, but age and aches and pains have put that aside some, but I do it at the home QTH. So I'll put it back to you, Steve, and I'll say 73s or 72 to everybody, and I'll be listening. G0HCR, KYZK.
G0HCR. You're fine on that, Kurt. Good to hear you there. Right, excuse me if I rattle through the last couple that's on the list. I know we've got some other joiners, but I'm going to just refresh it and lose my place in here. Victor Uniform 3, Charlie Juliet, Mexico, G0HCR.
Good afternoon, all. This is Uniform 3, Charlie Juliet, Michael, Dr. Los Angeles, South India. So, good evening to all stations. So, we are coming at a very good copy. So, we are trying to repeat as a echolink. But so we are in QTH is in the Bangalore. It calls is the South India. Coast of India. So back to head control. This is Uniform 3, Charlie, Juliet, Mexico.
G0HCI. Yes, nice to hear you, my friend, all the way from Bangalore. And we're certainly going well. We've got where's Delta Victor 3? I think that's Philippines. That's right, Manila, all the way over to Alaska way, and all bits in between at the moment. That's good. We've been to Romeo Whiskey Romeo in Manila, so K0 Bravo November Mike G0HCR. G0HCR, right, nothing from Bravo November Mike. November 7 Echo Charlie Victor G0HCR.
QSL, I'm here. Thanks for picking me up. I'm along for the ride. November 7 ECV in Washington State.
G0HCR, yes, good to have you here, Sean. Right, yes, Tim, I was wondering how to get it to show my location as well. I don't have enough characters left in that little box there. Right, I've run through the list, so anybody who hasn't spoken, I'm just going to all right, we're back to 33. So if anybody hasn't spoken yet, if they just want to break in and just quickly introduce themselves, this is Golf Zero Hotel Charlie Radio.
It's Whiskey Golf 7 Delta again. Sorry about that. I think we're all getting used to that space bar as a push to talk there. I just want to make a little announcement as far as the DMR and D-Star net that we're starting to also in conjunction with this EchoStar net here. So it's on Monday night. We just started it yesterday, and it worked out pretty well for the people that are into the digital D-Star and DMR, and you can kind of cross-link there. So it's at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and if you check out Craig's group, and he is K7EXJ on Facebook, it's called the D-Star/DMR Amateur Radio QRP net. So that's one way you can get into it there, and we'll have more details on that, how to get from DMR to D-Star and that kind of thing. So back to the net.
K9 BBN here again. Steve, is this microphone any better?
G0HCR, that is absolutely a lot better, Brian. Almost too much now. You could do with maybe moving it away from your by half an inch or an inch, because it was just starting to clip on the peaks of your voices. Do you just want to try again? G0HCR.
G0HCR, this is KB9BBM, Brian from Indiana. New microphone. Hopefully this is a lot better. How about a report? Thank you.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine there, Brian. Yeah, that is almost spot on. Almost spot on now. If anything, maybe just a teensy-weensy bit, as we would say in the UK, back to your mouth. But your audio is coming through. You're perfectly audible this time. Right, gentlemen. Yes, there's G0PEK. Right, we just, I tried you before, you didn't quite, sorry, did we bring you in before? G0PK, apologies, you have to remind me if you've actually, checked in, G0HCR.
Yeah, you brought me in, no problems at all. Kevin here down near Rochester in Kent. Back to you.
T0HCR. Yes, fine there, Kevin. Sorry, I completely forgot. I was trying to do it all electronically, following through these lists and not trying to write things down on a piece of paper there. And the other one I've got down here was Kilo Lima 4 Echo Lima. I can't remember if I think I said I'd get back to you, but would you like to just quickly introduce yourself? Kilo Lima 4 Echo Lima, G0HCR. G0HCR. Yes, I did have Kilo Lima 4 Echo Lima on the list here, and no, Canada, we're not ignoring you. This is our inaugural net, and I've been going off a list here, which changes, and I forget where I am on the list as people move up and down the list. So I've been trying to do it. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Sierra Oscar, G0HCR.
Hey, yeah, this is Carson, Charlie Alpha Romeo, Sierra Oscar November, from Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I'm a big fan of QRP. I started in the hobby in 2013 with monoband QRP radio, and I was really successful. I don't exclusively operate QRP now. I have a little amplifier that I take out. I operate mostly portable in Canada, and I have a blast doing lots of things. And in the next month, I'm going to be operating QRP in the Canada RAC 150 contest. And I don't normally do contests, but I'm going to try to enter the QRP category and see how I do. Anyways, good to hear everyone's voice on the group. This is Carson in Ontario, VA3OSO.
G0HCR. You're fine there, Carson. Absolutely lovely audio. And no, we're going to ignore nobody on the nets tonight, but apologies if we do get it wrong. Right, there's Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu. Sorry, there is the only list I'm going from is actually the list on the internet with the link here, and I need to keep updating it without losing my space. So, where are we now? Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu, G0HCR.
Good evening, everyone on the QRP Radio Net, G0HCR. Good evening to you, Steve. Name here is Bill in Hugo, Colorado. Got my start in ham radio, actually, with a little use to FT817ND. I've recently acquired an ICOM IC735, but I still plan to operate QRP CW from my 817. That will be my exclusive CW rig. Once I get the antenna that I have waiting for my antenna to come out. Most of us, man, watching the chat and trying to talk is not easy. But like I said, I plan to operate primarily QRP CW from the 817 and QRO on sideband from the IC735 there, Steve. Great to hear so many stations on the net tonight. I hope everyone's well, and 7-3, and I'll be riding along. G0HCR W5 HWZ in Hugo, Colorado.
G0HCR. Yep, fine there. Forgotten your name already. I was typing into the text box trying to reply to some of the text as well. I'm trying to do two things at once. It doesn't quite work, but nice to hear you. What I'm going to suggest to people is if you've not had a chance to check in, just put something in the text box and just say check in or something like that, and then we can bring you in a break or a pause. What I want to do now is actually start off a discussion topic and see how we go with that. I was speaking with Tim, K4SHF, on echolink before the actual net started, and we were talking about unknowns. He's looking to understand the type of core he might need for an unknown that might cover 80 meters to 6 meters. And I was expressing the opinion it's probably going to be good up to 10 meters, but then maybe there might be a bit of too much loss at 6 meters. So I shall hand this over to Tim, and he can explain more what he's sort of looking for. And Tim, I'm going to take a little break while I nip off for tea and for the loo. So I shall leave the call all with you as the official net controller. Anyhow, I'm just usurping everything here. And then when I'm back, I'll just put something in the text box if you need a break, and just see how the discussion goes. Kilo 4 Sierra Hotel Foxtrot Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio.
Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio. Steve, they're across the pond from me. I thank you very much there, sir. You've been teaching me a lot here on how to do this, because I am in no way, shape, or form an expert, and I'm just jumping into the world of QRP. So this is probably more for my benefit than anybody else's. I expect to gain a lot of information out of this. And I'm not going to do this in any particular order. If you want to jump in and have a comment, that's fine. This way I'm not putting anybody on the spot, and not bothering people that are sitting back and just kind of reading the mail. So I was looking at this situation, and I am planning on acquiring a H17 here early next month, and I'm planning on getting that little LDG tuner that has been very highly recommended to me, and that matches right up. And I was told that using that tuner, I really didn't need to even bother with an unknown. So I didn't know if anyone had any experience with that. I've been looking at unknowns, and to build one, I'm not finding anything that would go all the way from 80 meters to 6 meters. Most of them are 80 through 10. So I'm wondering if I could do 40 through 6. But I'm not sure. And if that tuner will take care of it, I'm gonna leave that alone for a bit until I decide I need to not waste power within the tuner. So this is K4SHF. Does anyone have a comment, experience, words of wisdom?
Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu here, Steve, Tim, sorry. Yeah, they say those the 817, and are you, my curious question is there before I go into my comment is, are you getting the predecessor to the ND? Are you actually getting the first generation 817, or are you getting the ND version? Before I give my comment, I want to know if you're getting the first generation 817 or the ND. Over.
Yeah, Bill, I'm going to go ahead and go with the ND. I'm just going to go to my friendly local dealer. I seem to always end up on the wrong end of the curve if I buy something used if I don't know the owner and the history. So I'm going to go ahead and get a shiny new one and go from there. So it'll be an ND.
Roger, the ND. But yeah, they say first off, my trials and tribulations with QRP. Do not go with the Alex loop. Do not go with the Alex loop. I had a horrible experience with that antenna. I find it's a very, it's, if you live in a high noise, the QTH, I live near power lines, so I'm usually picking up 10, 20, maybe even 30 over noise. Usually I'm picking, anywhere from an S7 to S9 plus 10 to 20 over noise level. So anywhere from an S6 to 20 over noise level on that thing. And then it's so finicky that you gotta hand tune it. You can't just hook it to a tuner. You gotta go out, go back in, go out, go in. And if it jiggles, it loses. If it jiggles the wrong, if you even so much as lift your leg the wrong way, it loses its tune. Secondly, let me reset.
G0HCR, can I just break in there?
Roger, Steve, go ahead.
G0HCR. Yes, sorry, there's Kilo Bravo 9 just wants to check in as well. I did mention to him, keep an eye on the text boxes, or the comment box. He's been waiting to check in apparently. So I'll just bring him in, and then the KB9, if you can hand it back to Kilo 4 Sierra Hotel Foxtrot. Kilo Bravo 9 Oscar Alpha Uniform. G0HCR. Oh, maybe I have mixed in then after all. I do apologise. This is all our first time here. Back to you, Tim. I'm going to get me a cup of tea. Kilo 4 Sierra Hotel Foxtrot G0HCR.
Okay, Steve. Thanks for watching the text block there. I can't do two things at once. Trying to talk and read at the same time is beyond me. So let's get back to Bill there, W5HWZ out there in sunny Colorado, and you were telling me about the trials and tribulations.
W5HWZ, right back to K4SHF in the net. Yeah, as I was saying, the Alex loop, it's just, if you don't live in a place to where you can constantly babysit it, it's just a headache. Thirdly, I want to say, depending on what your plan of doing with QRP is, you gotta be sure you got something that can get you a spot on tune to get the most out of your power. Because if you're planning on just running 5 watts, then you gotta have an antenna that'll maximize that. You gotta be able to maximize your miles per watt, or MPW, or miles per watt is critical in QRP. So you gotta you gotta have an antenna that can get the most out of your power. And some of these compromised antennas like the Alex Loop G5RB Junior, unless you're able to get a solid QTH with very low noise floor and be able to get good output, you'll have a lot of loss. QRP, Steve, is all about minimizing loss. So that's my comments for now. I'll probably have more to say. W5HWZ back to K4SHF.
Good evening. The time is...
Okay, K4SHF returning. Yeah, thanks, Bill. I'm not really looking at a loop at this time. If I go a loop, that'll be in the distant future. Right now, I'm looking at in-fed long wires, whether with or without an unan, using a 9-to-1, or we had a guy in the local club that had showed us basically it's the same premise as the soda beams with multiple dipoles that you just in his case he would add on links as he was going along. As he wanted to go down the bands, he would just clip on another link just using a little jumper. What I'm doing is doing the same thing, except I'm going to go ahead and probably just make a 40-meter dipole, and it'll be 40 meters for the physical length, but then I will just making some little jumpers with alligator clips, and I will use those to just connect in. Right now I'm looking at just using popsicle sticks and popping a little eyelet through them, cut them down to about an inch and a quarter length, and pop an eyelet in each end, and just route probably some real probably enameled magnet wire for now. I may move up to some of that 26 gauge Teflon coated stuff, the stranded stuff. But for now, that was my intent. So anyone else want to kick in here? And let's see, do we have? Oh my goodness, am I losing people here? KD9HUI Kevin. I don't think we've had you tonight. Did you want to pop in here, sir? K4SHF.
Sorry, Steve. G1 SLP, I think, is trying to get in there, but he doesn't have any audio, Steve. Just alerting you to that fact. Over.
Okay, Bill. This is Tim, K4SHF. Steve was taking a quick break there, but I'm trying to get other people's words of wisdom on this, as far as whether I do or do not need to unan. Looks like I can just plug straight into the tuner. I wonder which is more efficient. And then running the length of coax, and then probably putting a choke at it before it comes into the tuner itself. Also looked at some interesting information on YouTube the other evening. Let's see, IZ2UUF has some interesting videos on the use of balance and how much use of one could actually reduce noise. So I'm trying to get smart, but it's a struggle. So somebody want to jump in with their comments? K4SHF.
KL4EL, Sitka, Alaska here. We ran KX3 on field day through a par fed 4020. The feed point was up about 50 feet. It sloped down at about 33 degrees and tied off around 6 feet. And we had one of our guys was talking to Wisconsin on that at 15 watts from southeast Alaska. So all I did was go straight into the tuner that he had for that. And that's all I use. I have one of those same tuners, but I'm using it with an SGC 2020.
Okay, well, it looks like I might be able to save myself a little bit of effort. Of course, I've also heard comments that if I actually cut good links and go band specific with the infed, I may be able to avoid using a tuner too. So I'm not sure how that works, but like I said, I'm still new at this, so trying to learn what I can. So any other comments there?
G0HCR, I'm back now, Tim. Yes, I've got some comments on an unknown. I just noticed that Kevin's looking to build a hybrid fan link dipole. I've got some ideas on a link dipole as well. Back to you, Tim. K4SHF G0HCR.
November 7, Echo Charlie Victor.
G0HCR. Okay, yes, I've got you there, Echo Charlie Victor. Bring you in just a second. Just make sure I'm not doubling with anybody. Nope. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, Tim, going back to, alright, good night there, SLP. Yes, I was just thinking about getting my Bluetooth headset out, actually, so I can carry on listening to the conversation while I'm having a cup of tea. What I need to do is figure out how to get a spacebar Bluetooth button as well. Yeah, on Tim, just wondering why you want an unknown. Because if you're going from unbalanced to unbalanced, all an unknown does, I believe, is basically acts as just a choke to reduce the common modes. Common mode radiation, or I forgot what they call it. Common modes. It's used a lot to reduce the radiation from the coax outer, or to reduce the noise. Something like that. Certainly to reduce the radiation. That's right, on the outer of the coax. To avoid a little bit of avoid any TVI or BCI. I tend to just run most of my dipoles just unbalanced straight from the rig up to the dipole, because certainly with propagation on HF, it doesn't really matter if you have a bit of a mitigated radiation pattern, because propagation and the E and F levels mess it all around anyway. And just a little point for people while we're using echolink, just a reminder that this is going out on the air on various repeaters that might be linked to here. So we still use the same etiquette as we would do if we're broadcasting over the air. Back to you, Tim, and I've not forgotten you, Echo Charlie Victor. Maybe when Tim's commented he wants to pass it over to November 7, Echo Charlie Victor. K4SHF G0HCR. Right. So I've just seen Tim just saying he needs to reboot. Okay. Okay, to Kevin there. Hybrid fan linked dipole. Well, I know Soda Beans sell these linked dipoles for, I think it's 40 and 20. But each time you want to change bands, of course, you've got to, just basically disconnect the link to make the dipole longer or shorter. So I sort of think, well, what's the point in that? I just make a dipole for 40 meters, and the radiation pattern will be whatever it is, 20. You might need to use a small ATU. I've got one of these Elecraft T1s I use with my QRP kit, because I had those Z817s. But it did the job, but the Elecraft one has got little LED indicators for SWR and power. It was just easier. It's also a bit more expensive. That was the other thing as well. G0P, I'll pass it over to November 7, Echo Charlie Victor first, G0HCR.
Not sure if you were trying to get in there nasty or not. No, I'll take a stand by M7 TV. Okay, nothing heard on this end. Hey, thanks for picking me up, Steve. This is November 7 Echo Charlie Victor. Hey, I ran wire antennas for a long time with no un, and didn't think there was an issue until I finally just sprung on an un. I run a 135-foot wire. And the unbalanced to unbalanced there made just the biggest difference. If you're using coax into that end-fed wire, that's what you're going to want to use, is that un. I also use that tuner he's speaking of, the little QRP tuner. I use that alongside my NCHF little QRP rig. Great little tuner. A counterpoise of some sort or some type of grounding with that thing definitely helps. It tunes okay, if we're only talking 10 watts or so it really doesn't make much of a difference. But as far as when I threw that un in line, it just completely took away the resistance and any impedance I might have had to get my signal to tell. My display lights weren't dimming in any way at all, and it just made a bigger difference as far as being able to work efficiently. I definitely could tune a lot easier with my manual tuner, or could tune even easier with the auto tuner. Just those bands that were just out of reach of getting a good match, that un brought it right back to par. And that's only with the coax fed and fed wire. A balun would be the option for any other way. This is November 7, Echo Charlie Victor. I look forward to working you guys on SOTA this Saturday.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine on that, Sean. Yes, I've never experienced many problems just using unbalanced coax to a dipole. But then in the UK we are limited to 100 watts CW or 400 watts PEP. Sorry, why am I talking about high power? This is a QRP net. I do both. I must admit, I do both QRP and QRO. But certainly, yes, the unknown will reduce the any RF coming back down the out of the coax, which I have had problems with before with radiation off the coax and get back into the shack. So that would reduce that. But yes, if we're going to do all these things properly, we'd have correct baluns and ununs and everything else we need. But a lot of amateur radio stuff is it's all about experimentation and putting things together, trying them out, and then we pass on our knowledge. So that's really going to be that's really good. Okay, I'll pass it back to Tim, because I see his computer's back running now. Kilo 4 Sierra Hotel Fox, and I've not forgotten you, Kevin, down in Rochester, still thinking about a linked dipole. Oh, hang on. So, right. So I'm just looking at Tim's comment there. I tell you what, I'll pass it over to G0PEK, just to comment back on some of the linked dipole comments I mentioned. And then we'll see how we go from there. Okay, Tim still can't try. Tim, I believe there's a little icon you can click on. Should come up with a little lightning bolt, so you can use that instead of the space bar. Presumably left clicking on it will put you into transmit, and left click will put you back to standby. G0 Papa Echo Kilo D0 HCR.
Yeah, from Golf at 0 Papa Echo Kilo. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I seem to have problems with the space bar every now and then, so I'm using the little icon up in the top left corner. But yeah, at the moment we use off-center fed dipole that we've made using one of the pico balance from Soda Beans, and just wired that in for 4-to-1, and some good results with that. We still use the Elecraft T1 tuner as well when we need to, because every location is different, and ground resistance changes, and you can never get the antenna up to optimum height anyway. Not when we're out backpacking and we're carrying a lightweight 6-meter pole, so we're never going to get it up very high. But that's what we've been using, and it does give us the opportunity to sort of jump around a few bands if we need to. Having said that, most of our QRP operating is done on 2 meters, so we use different antennas for that anyway. But we often have a little play on HF and see what we go. The linked fan dipole, we're going to make that for primarily for 40 and 20, but then the other one the third link, the third element on there, we will have it linked so that we can do 15, 17 and 10. So in effect we can have any 3 bands, 40, 20 and 15, or 40, 20 and 17. I mean, it should work on 15 anyway, but we'll see. And we use a little pico balance for that, and just wire it in at 1-to-1 and see what happens. So we've not built it yet, and we were just going to use Molex connectors, mainly because we've got a whole load of them sitting here. Got a big bag full of things, so we're just going to use the power connectors for the link there, and the spreaders we were just going to use plant labels that we bought down at one of the local food shops when they sell them off. So we bought a bag of 100 of those for 99p. So we'll use that. So we're very we like to make aerials out of strange things, and just very, very economical with the making of them there. So back to you from G0PEK.
Yeah, just a quick break in here, Whiskey Golf 7 Delta. Yeah, I'm having trouble with my spacebar key too, and Tim was asking about the little icon up there that looks like a lightning bolt. It does become on mine yellow when during a pause, and then you click on it, use it, and it seems to work a lot better for me. Back to the net.
Hey, it works.
HCR. Yes. Now, if you're having problems with spacebars, I'm not having a problem. I just remember I need to click on the echolink pane before use the spacebar, because I've been hopping over to the other pane to refresh the user list in my browser, and I forget when I want to transmit. I have to then click on the echolink pane, then the spacebar becomes usable. So it might be that you're having a problem with. So you could try that, Mike and Tim there. Yeah, fine, Kevin, on your dipoles there. Soda Beans actually have just started a range of balance as well. Instead of using links, you could just put in the not balance, traps. So you could use those instead, then you wouldn't have to actually change links. And they'll be similar to the little balance they do. I've got a balance kit from when I ordered some bits and pieces and the kite winders. Still not put it all together. Just seem to find so many other things to do. But it's certainly keeping me well entertained at the moment. And this thing Mike has suggested about DMR, well, I've got me fired up in another direction now, so I'm waiting for my little spot and couple it up to the pies and get that working. So there's an awful lot still to learn in amateur radio, and it's certainly changing a lot. Anyhow, just a brief update. I will just take a couple of second pause to reset. Right, G0HCR. This is the the echolink net for the amateur QRP radio group on Facebook. And this is our first net, our inaugural net, and it's nice that we've got quite a few people on here, and so far I think we're doing well. It's started up a little discussion, which I think is really good. And yes, to your question, Mike, I have no problems. I'll certainly very much do the European nets when we get that running, and it will depend on work as to when I can come in and out of this net, because if I was working tomorrow, I'd probably be in bed now, but I'm not, so I'm okay. Sorry, who said he keyed first? Right, so why aren't people factoring in on the ERP? Okay, forgotten where we were going back to then. We've done dipoles, hand dipoles, traps. We're talking unums and balance. What I will do is I shall take a longer pause, and if anyone else wants to come in, please, people, just feel free to break in at any time. I'm trying to think, we're using the protocol release of 3 or 4 seconds break between each over, so people can pop in. This is G0HCR taking a 4-second pause.
Yeah, this is John, Kilowatt 8 Juliet Golf, comment?
Golf 3, Sierra Echo Alpha Stroke Kilo Hotel 6, Paul in Honolulu. Good afternoon.
G0HCR, yeah, good evening, gentlemen. I've got you as the Kilo 8 Juliet and the Golf 3. So, John, Kilo 8 Juliet Golf, would you like to go ahead, G0HCR?
Yeah, G0HCR, Kilowatt 8 Juliet Golf. I had to step out for a minute, but my comment is I use an FT817, and I use the 971 tuner with the random lengths. Sometimes random, other times 31 foot with a little squid pull. And my farthest transmission that I've made with it is 1 watt at about 1,000 miles. And that setup really works well for me. I didn't really like the 817 tuner. I didn't find it to be as versatile as my setup now, because I can run the 971 MFJ 971 tuner, even though it's bigger. You can run it in a lot of configurations, and so anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. Back to you, Steve. Kilowatt 8 Juliet Golf.
G0HCR, yeah, fine on that, John. Thank you very much. That's great information. I think we're starting off on some really good discussions here, and helping each other out with all our knowledge. I'll pass it over to Golf 3 Sierra Echo Alpha, who's a kilo something over in Honolulu. G0HCR.
Yeah, G0HCR, G3FCA stroke Kilo Hotel 6, all in Honolulu, where we're having some very un-Hawaiian weather for the last few days. We've had strong winds, and it's been a bit nippy, and it felt warmer to be in the ocean. But when you live here, you acclimate. That's what happens. You start to feel cold in the winter. Our winter, not your winter. I'm not sure what the net is about. Sounds like it's about antennas and things, 817. That's a cute little transceiver. And so I'll just listen and see what's going on. Oh, incidentally, Steve, G3SZU was here. They went back last week. They were here for 3 weeks. They took the 7-day island cruise around the other islands, and then they spent 2 weeks in Honolulu. Keith and Barbara. They've been here before and they enjoy it. G0HCR, G3FCA, stroke KH6.
G0HCR, I was waiting for a K tone from the repeater then for some reason. Oh dear. Oh, yeah, I think my brain is getting tired and too confused now. Right, Stu, the name of our Facebook page, and also for you, Paul, this is an inaugural echolink net for the Amateur QRP Radio Facebook group. It started off, Mike Whiskey Golf 7 Delta with a Facebook group called Amateur QRP Radio, and I joined. Then more of us, and was it last year? Yes, last year we had a sort of like a radio activity weekend where we tried to get on the air, and I don't think any of us managed to speak to each other on the air. But we certainly plenty of comments and postings and trying to set skeds up onto Facebook. But it was fun. It was fun. And we've just started a little nets here on echolink. Let me just take a pause so the system won't time out on me. And I didn't wait for the K this time. And then Mike has explored got in touch with N0 Sierra Tango Yankee, who's the owner of this node, and he kindly agreed to let us use this node every. Let me put this in UTC or Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu every Wednesday at 0000 hours. So it's Wednesday 0000 UTC time, and then everybody can translate it back to their time there. Right. Or in fact, yep, they just posted up some links to the Facebook group, and you're more than welcome to join us. We're having really good fun, and Mike's Whiskey Golf 7 Delta is also getting us sorted out with someone else, a DMR or DMR D-Star type net as well. So it's all go in amateur radio using all these new tools and technology to further our hobbies and keep in touch with each other. Right, I shall leave a 10-second pause if any newcomer wants to check in with us and just see how we go. This is Golf Zero Hotel Charlie Radio. We're looking for anybody who wants to check in.
November 0 Sierra Tango Yankee with a quick comment.
Yep, go ahead. G0HCR.
Taking in.
G0HCR. The November 0 station first. Would you like to... Sorry, yeah, November 0 station. Go ahead.
The Facebook chat and such, and I see a lot of different cell phones potentially having trouble getting into the system. Here's what happens. So echolink, when using it on your cell phone, just so you guys understand kind of what's happening here this evening, there are proxies. Like I personally have my own proxy. I built a proxy server out of a Raspberry Pi that I use as my own personal proxy, so I avoid this problem. But what happens is oftentimes you'll have a hard time finding a path. Your cell phone will tell you can't find a path. That is often due to the amount of proxy servers connected in one place. So I do suggest you try and get here early, things like that, different little things. And sometimes it's truly just your internet provider. But I do, again, thank you guys, everybody, for being here, and appreciate hearing everybody. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to Net Control. I know that I doubled, or somebody doubled with me. I doubled with somebody, however you want to say that, and wanted to get checked in as well. Once again, this is November 0 Sierra Tango Yankee, back to Net Control.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine there, Andy. Sorry, the call sign, I didn't catch the full call sign, or I wasn't thinking about it. Just really, yeah, that's fine. Feel free to drop in anytime you want. You are our guru, our guide on this, on our new venture here. Okay, Stu, good night to you. You're off to bed up there in Greenock, but you're still going to be listening to us. And thank you very much for the good luck from up there in Bonnie, Scotland. The other check-in I got was November 2, Lima Radio Bravo, G0HCR.
Hi, how are you doing? This is Jose in 2LRV. And I just wanted to check in on just busy listening and doing a few things on the side here. So just wanted to say hello to everybody. Jose in New York City.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine there, Jose. Welcome to you. Nice to hear you. And I'm sure you're aware this is the inaugural event of the Amateur QRP Radio Facebook group, talking about all things QRP. And I shall leave another pause if anybody else wants to check in who's not checked in yet. G0HCR.
This is Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee.
CK2DY. Hi there, Robert. Do you want to go ahead? G0HCR.
Yeah, this is VK2DY, Robert, in metropolitan Sydney, where it's a little afternoon on Wednesday, and sun has come out. I'm just stepping outside here to get away from people. Sun is going to be out, and it's probably about 80 Fahrenheit, which is a reasonable spring day. Yeah, I didn't even know this group existed. I was just looking at echolink, and oh wow, the friends is busy. Let's see what it is. And I would love to get into QRP. I've been looking into building a magnetic loop antenna to go with my FT 897 to see if I can get some mobile communications going. And I really want to get into this. So I'm excited. I think it's a great group that you have going here. I'm going to join the Facebook group, and I'll be in DMR or D-Star, wherever you're at. I'll come in and check in. Thank you very much. And the other thing is, I come in on the iPhone and I set my connection as direct, and that usually works good on the iPhone. I don't know if that exists on the Android phones or not. But anyway, thank you again, VK2DY. Back to your group.
G0HCR. Yeah, good to meet you, Robert. Good to hear you as well. Yes, feel free, just, join the Facebook group. There's a few questions, just to ask, just because we've grown to, in the space of a year, we've grown to over 10,000 members now. So there's an awful lot of us, talking, small talk, of course. It's QRP after all. Okay, right, I shall, yeah. WWFS. Sorry, yes, it's Carl Gus 2 Echo 0 Hotel Papa India is a big WWFF activator over here in the UK. I think he might be a member of our Facebook group. I can't quite remember, but I see his name pop up a lot, and he's in our National Radio Society of Great Britain magazine as well. So keep seeing his call sign all the time. Okay, right. Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu. I see you've got a question for us. Sorry, Tim. SHF, I'm monopolising again. I'm going to take a break in a minute anyway, just while you're having computer problems. Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu, G0HCR.
Yeah, Steve. It's more like a comment, really. I see a lot of the guys here are factoring more about playing with tuners on their antennas for QRP work rather than building for resonance. I wonder, to me, I've always read with QRP work that you want to try to maximize your estimated radiated power, or ERP, because I know there are some QRPers that have, I've worked QRO from my DX club station. I've worked some fabulous QRP signals. One guy in Aitland, from the Midwestern United States, I worked him on 3 watts and he was 20 over 9. To me, it's like, for me, this is one of those deals. It's just, I'm just all about the science of, see, my mind works in a more scientific way. And the one thing with QRP in my book is, you gotta have an ability to get the most out of your, antenna there. So, I realize everyone's got their different opinions, but, that's just my 2 cents on that deal. So, let me take a reset and, I'll ask my question. Alright, W5HWZ back, but, the one thing I wonder, there's a lot of guys that I hear from Europe via remote stations and such that I listen in on and, sometimes play around with is, I hear a lot of guys operating, 44s or Fluorophana QRP. A lot of, Castles are QRP jobs too. I mean, a lot of the field jobs, Coda and, Fluorophana, there's several QRP activators that, do quite well there. So, that's just my 2 cents on it. And I'll, pass it back over to, Tim. K4SHF W5HWZ.
I'm busy here trying to learn about WWFF. I have never heard of that before. That looks like something right up my line. If I haven't heard of it, that means probably nobody locally has heard of it. I could be not a chaser, but whatever the other one is. I never know these things. But, this sounds good. And, Steve, I redefined the preferences so my right control key now works as the push to talk. And I think this might be working for me, but you're on a roll here and, I'm busy taking notes. So, keep on going. G0HCR. 84 SHF.
G0HCR. Yeah, fine there, Tim. Yes, I'm going to have to get some, I'm going to get another cup of tea in a minute. Yeah, far too much talking. Mind you, I suppose I'm good at talking, or so people tell me. And that's the other nice thing. We don't have to go high on this, because you can hear us quite clearly. Yes, Kilo 4 Alpha, Kilo 4 Quebec Alpha Mike. Yep, 73s to you there, he's off to another net, there. And, Papa Echo Kilo, yes, Wainwright's on the air. Sorry, I completely forgot about that one. And, WWFF, yes, that's certainly well known in, the UK, and I have seen, American stations start to chase that. And back to Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu. Yes, yes, Billy, you're absolutely right, of course. We need everything in our armory to get our QRP signals through. And having an antenna on resonance, or a resonant antenna, is the prime aim for our antenna systems. There's no point having an antenna that's not resonant and then just losing all the power in the ATU. Defeats the point. I just use my little ATU at the moment because I don't have resonant antennas. I've got a 10 meter vertical which I sort of put up and use, and I got an end fed. They're very much compromised antennas, but like I say, I've been busy doing so many other things. I've not actually got to do it all properly yet. I got some stuff from Sota Beams in the UK, and going to stick some, actually get some resonant dipoles for 40 and 20, because they're sort of become my preferred bands. 40 for inter-G working for the Work Tour Britain nets, etc. And for SOTA and all the other groups, and then 20 for the intercontinental work.
You timed it out there, Steve. Over.
G0HCR. Yes, sorry about that, Billy. I completely forgot. Although I think... right, okay. Yes, thank you, Andy. Time out set to 150 seconds. I'm going to have to get a timer for next time, I can see. Or actually, I'll dig out a program, so I'm using a laptop here. I'll have to do that. Yes, the last thing I was going to say was, we need all these little things that help us, like being special event station, summit on the air, where we're activators and people are chasing us, also helps get our QRP signal through. But I also like just the challenge of being a QRP station, trying to just, trawl around the dial and find stations to work for. Righto, I'm going to pass this, I'll pass it back to you there, Billy. Whiskey 5 Hotel, Whiskey Zulu, G0HCR.
Like I said, I'm a QRPer at heart. Only reason I have my 100 watt rig here in the shack is it was my friend who went silent keys rig, so I set that up and plan to use that for local WeatherNet and maybe some just general chewing the fat type of sideband QSOs. But really, my main goal is to really get out there on QRP. It gets out there on QRP CW. I like the challenge of a miles per watt QSO. I mean, let's just say it, I like the scientific aspect of QRP. It's a lot easy. I mean, anybody can throw face it. Yeah, there's a map, but maximum available power, which is fine if I'm going to work sideband. Yeah, I'd rather have the extra power, but I find out that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of interest to get out there on QRP. So I am not really sure who to throw it over with. So I'm going to take a long standby, and if anybody else wants to jump in there, they can. Whiskey 5 Hotel, Whiskey Zulu, standing by for anybody new.
HCR picking it up, just make sure. Hang on. G0HCR. I don't think I'm doubling. So I'm doubling with Whiskey 7 and Romeo Lima Fox. Let me just break again, see if I am.
No, Steve, I think he's got a microphone problem. I see his carrier, but no signal there, Roger.
G0HCR. Okay, yeah, thanks there, Billy. Ryan, Whiskey 7, Romeo Lima Fox. Do you want to come in, or are you just having issues with your PTT as it is? Whiskey 7, Romeo Lima Fox, G0HCR. G0HCR, yes, I see you tried to access and then went off straight again. Okay, right, you see it there, he's going to restart his echolink there. Okay, yeah, thanks for that there, Billy. While we're talking about things like WWFF and SOTA and Wainwright's on the air, Kevin, you've just reminded me, yes, of course, your daughter is Lauren. She's had quite a bit of publicity in Radcom and things as youngest radio to complete the Wainwrights. Do you want to just give a little bit on that? What you're achieving next? I think you were at one time I saw you were building an antenna for the satellites for connecting to the satellites. G0PEK, G0HCR.
Yeah, G0PEK returning. I'll make this one a final, so I'm going to disappear off to bed in a moment. Yeah, well, the Wainwrights, yeah, they're a little bit like the SOTA summits, only you only need to have one contact to validate it. Now, we did get a lot more than that normally, but when you've got a youngster on the mountains, it does make it a little easier, especially when you've got the inclement weather there. So 214 summits, took us 2 years to do, and yeah, she started that at 9 years old and finished it this year. So just literally 2 days short of 2 years from when she actually started the first summit to when she finished the last one. So, but yeah, lots of other little things that we're trying to do. We're back on the water doing some kayaking soon, and we're going to be trying 40 metres from the kayak. We tried it and failed before, so we'll try that again. We've got another thing for 2020 where we're looking at a 2,500 mile cycle ride around the whole of the UK, and the anticipation there will be to link in with radio clubs and societies around the country as we go through operating through Virtual Britain Squares as we go. So there's a few wacky things that we're looking at. Satellite antennas, yeah, we're just building something that we can throw in the car when we take it down to the schools to do some activities in schools, which we've been doing a little bit of recently. And the satellite tracking and tracking meteorites and stuff like that is something that fits into part of what they learn about when they're doing space. So we're shoehorning amateur radio into the curriculum in one way, shape or form there. So that's basically what we've been doing. Right, that's probably quite a long one for me. So back to you from Golf Zero Papa Echo Kilo.
G0HCR, yeah, fine on that, Kevin. Oh, that's all good now. It's certainly like amalgamating amateur radio with the educate curriculum. Sounds like a great way to do it. And 40 metres from the kayak, that'll be fun. Yes, Tim. Sorry. Yes, I did get that. Your legs have got cramped. Yeah, well, with 10 minutes. I do apologise for usurping you. It wasn't meant, and we shall. We'll get things sorted a little better next time, but I think this net's gone really well. And one thing, Kevin, I'm hoping that we can organise a net, a similar net for the Amateur QRP Radio Facebook group at a more convenient time for us Europeans. So then you and Ron can hopefully be able to join in, contribute. But we'll be sorting that out sometime, and sometime soon, I hope. So thank you very much there, Kevin. I gather you're off and off to bed sometime soon as well. I've been that in about 10-15 minutes when we finish up. Right, Billy's got another comment. So back to you there, Billy, and I shall. Sorry, I'm just like everybody else. Can't do two things at once: talk and read. But I'm slowly learning some of the skills. Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu G0HCR.
Yeah, just a quick comment. You were saying on the European net. For those of you guys that are maybe in the WFF groups or Castles on the Air groups, you could tie the European QRP radio in with the Flora Fauna and the Castles on the Air group. Since those guys are portable ops too and some do QRP activations, I figured why not tie it in with the soda and the Flora Fauna and capsules for the Europeans as well as any others that wanted to join in. Just a friendly little idea there. So that's my comment, and I'll pass it over to Whiskey 2, Juliet Lima Delta. Mr. John, W2, JLD, over to you.
This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Lima Delta W2 JLD. Well, good evening to Mr. Bill and good evening to everybody on the net. This is W2 JLD, John here in Rochester, New York, southern tip of Lake Ontario, 60 miles east of Buffalo, New York. I've got the echolink friend conference server on echolink now, and I've got the IROP 9050 in my left ear listening to the tech net, so I just thought I'd stop in and give you a beam for the count. And good to hear you out there, Mr. Bill. W2 JLD, next to next control.
G0HCR, yeah, good to hear you there, John. Sorry, I was waiting for yet another K tone from the repeater. Doesn't quite work when you're sat in front of your computer listening on your headset, does it? All right, thank you to all those who are going to bed, going off to do other things, depending on where in the world you are. And yes, Mike, certainly having fun. And it is definitely a great start for our new little net there. Right, Whiskey 7, Radio Lima Foxtrot. Hopefully you've got your spacebar thingy sorted out. Would you like to come in? Whiskey 7, Romeo Lima Fox, G0HCR.
There we go. It's on my spacebar again, Whiskey 7 Radio Lima Foxtrot. Yeah, thanks for letting me in. I appreciate this. Thought this would be fun. I can only stay for a few moments. So it looks like the net's wrapping up. But yeah, really I've enjoyed the Facebook group, so I thought this would be fun to get into. And certainly I've enjoyed the discussion just the last few minutes that I've been able to make it in. And of course, I can't remember who it was that was commenting on the antennas. The efficiency is definitely one of the top things we go for with QRP. But like they say, any antenna is better than none. And so I know I myself started out with an NFET for that reason, because it was easy to figure out, whereas getting a dipole up, not so much, for my QTH anyway. Anyway, just wanted to say hello to everybody, and I wish you all 73 before I head out.
G0HCR, yeah, good to hear you there, Ryan. And yes, it's you don't need to hold the space bar down. You sort of tap it once to start transmitting and then tap it again to stop transmitting. The only thing I need to remember is not to talk for too long and end up timing out on the system. Other thing, if you're in another screen playing about, so I've got the web page open where I can see a fuller list of all the callers. Users. Oh dear, it must be time for another cup of tea and bed shortly after. But if you're in another screen, you've got to remember to click on the echolink pane so your spacebar will work. Right, I'm going to, okay, Kevin, 73s, and catch you next Wednesday at 0000 UTC for another time of our amateur QRP Radio Facebook group net. Currently, amateur QRP Radio Facebook group net. We've got a page on Facebook, and then this started from it. And our kind sponsor is November 0 Sierra Tango Yankee, Andy, who's the owner of this node, and he's agreed to let us use it at this time every week. And that's really kind of him, because we've had a really lovely evening. I certainly enjoyed myself. Well, before we finally sign off, because we've got till 0200 UTC, would anybody else like to come in and comment on anything they've heard? So I shall leave a 10-15 second pause, and you might like to just sort of try and then make sure you're not doubling with anybody. G0HCR.
Good morning. I would like to join in. Please put me in.
Victor Uniform 2 Delta Echo Victor, good morning to you. We're going to be signing off our little nets in a few minutes, but welcome to you. We will be back the same time in a week's time at 0000 UTC next Wednesday, where we have a 2-hour slot on this node here for the amateur QRP Radio Facebook group net. So back to you, sir, if you would like to just let us know your name and whereabouts you are. Victor Uniform 2 Delta Echo Victor Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, all stations. I've been standing by on this frequency. I'm enjoying this group. First of all, mighty congratulations to all of you to conduct this wonderful weekly net. Congrats to Whiskey Golf 7 Delta Mike Garu for conceiving this net. Hope to meet you regularly every week. For us, it's Wednesday morning, 00 hours. It's early morning. Another 5 minutes I need to push off for morning duty here. Sun is coming up with streaks of light. So, my good morning and best wishes all round, and congrats all round. Back to net control. Victor Uniform 2 Delta Echo Victor, handle Delta Echo Victor there. Duty head Bangalore from India. Bye-bye. Standing by.
G0HCR. Yes, thank you very much, Dev. Over there in Bangalore with the sun just coming up. Just before we run out of time, I'm just going to check in Kilo Fox 5 Tango Hotel Bravo. This is G0HCR.
This is KF5THB. Thanks for checking me in. I'm in Texas, little town in Clay County called Henrietta, and looking forward to a little bit more involvement in QRP. I did the annual field day, ARRL field day, QRP, and enjoyed it a lot. Thanks very much for the net. KF5THB, back to net.
G0HDR. Good to meet you there, Brent. Nice to have you on board. As I was just saying, we have been given a time slot between 0000 and 0200 UTC, and we're at that time now. So, okay, right. Andy, our kind sponsor, said there's nothing else scheduled and time limit is up to net control. Right, well, I definitely need a cup of tea. So, are you there, Mike? Whiskey Golf 7 Delta, G0 HCR.
Good evening. The time is 7:00 p.m.
That was Whiskey Golf 7 Delta. Thank you very much there for, handling this, net, when, Tim had that problem there, Steve. And, I just want to say a shout out there to, Dev. Also, he contributes to our group, quite a bit there. And, I think we're just going to probably wrap it up then, unless, somebody else wants to chat, some more on different topics or whatever. And, as long as it's okay with, STY, Andy, they can chat away. But other than that, we'll be shutting her down. Back to net.
G0HPR. Yeah, thanks there, Mike. Yes, although Andy has kindly there's nothing scheduled, I do think we should just try and keep to our couple of hours. Certainly on our first night, because I'm definitely in need of a cup of tea and a break at the moment. But thank you very much there, Andy. Right, before we sort of fit the net, does anybody else have any burning questions or comments on anything you've heard here? I shall leave a 10-second pause. Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio. This is Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio. I didn't hear anything there. Well, thank you everybody for joining our inaugural net of the Amateur QRP Radio Facebook group. It's been a very big success. Had some good discussions, and I can see some ways we can make it even better for next week. So thank you very much, everybody. 73. I mustn't start using the S. There's too much things on Facebook, too many comments on Facebook about that. And especially as we're QRP, it's a 72. So good night, everybody. I'm going to just listen for a couple of minutes in case anybody else is picking anything up there. Otherwise, I shall, a few minutes, I shall sign off. This is Golf 0 Hotel Charlie Radio standing by.